So, welcome to the official serial number request for my V100 3D printer build. I'm doing this in a live stream, and this is the part that I'm submitting to the serial number request. First of all, I want to go through the print settings. We're using Orca Slicer, and just to demonstrate that we're not using something weird and something not allowed. So I have created a print profile for the layer height. So layer heights are going to be 0.25 millimeters, which is within the rules. Line width 0.5. We have a, let me see, I think there is nothing else interesting here. What affects the benchy rules? Here we go with the next one. We have 2 wall loops as required. We also go with 3 top shell layers. We go with 3 bottom layers. We have 10% sparse infill, which is also allowed. And yeah, speed settings are basically just still conservative, 600. First layer is quite slow with 100. And we have around about 20,000 millimeter per second acceleration and 10,000 for the first layer on top surface. So like still probably will get some quite good quality out of this. Yeah, no support, no brim and anything. That's it. Now we are going to look at the printer quickly. This is my V100, and we are also recording timer. However, this is the printer. We don't want to do anything in terms of saving. So this is the Z100. We'll start the timer as soon as we are getting the first layer of the benchy. We'll not start the timer earlier. And I will now send over the print files. I'm gonna go back here in this program, and we're going to send the print file to the printer, and here we go. So I'm gonna wait until the printer warms up, and then we'll start the timer as soon as the initial warm-up is done. One thing that I discovered with the screen, which is a little bit of, I don't know why this is happening actually. The screen seems to be having an issue in the lower right corner, that it sometimes just clicks. Basically, it looks like it's something is clicking or touching the lower right corner here. I hope to fix that problem. Maybe it is the case, maybe something is pushing in the lower right corner, but yeah, this is something I still have to investigate why this is happening. We are using Hyper PLA from Creality. Is there anything else I want to mention here? I think, yeah, the nozzle, maybe some details about that. Someone was asking this in the chat. I'm using a Rapido UHF hot end, if I'm not saying this the wrong name. Yeah, it's the Rapido Plus UHF Plus hot end. And we have a special, I think it's a CHT nozzle, how it's called. So this is a nozzle that has this inner split in the filament path. So it's basically splitting the filament, melting it into 3 different channels, and then combining the filament back again at the tip. So it's supposed to be giving you a higher flow rate, which I didn't yet fully go to the limit with, but this is supposed to be helping to print even faster. So we're still waiting for the print bed to heat up. Okay, so what's the temperature saying? How much do we have at the moment? Heating up 55. Okay, we're almost there. Interesting enough, the screen is now still on the start page of the print. Sometimes it jumps away and goes into the settings because of this touch screen problem. Okay, so we're now heating up the hot end. And I can tell you, this printer is, once it starts printing, this can get very scary in terms of how crazy the movements are and how much the shaking is going to be. So be prepared that this printer is gonna be pushing super hard already with the 20,000 millimeter per second. It's already shaking quite a lot, and for me it's still hard to imagine when we push it even harder how much shake we're gonna get. We probably have to put something, some kind of rubber pad under the printer to prevent the printer from jumping off the table. But yeah, if in the worst case I'm gonna just hold it, then it's not jumping off. Because we have a slippery surface here where the printer is on, so it's probably very easy to move it around, right? Good. Filament coming out. Homing. I'm personally super curious to see the new version, the 2.0, and what are the changes, because I already realized that some of the limitations of this printers are definitely the size of the print bed compared to the printer's total size. So it is only 150 millimeters in each direction, and if you consider the volume of the printer itself, it is very, I would say this is quite a small print volume for such a huge frame, and I think that's what Matt is also working on really hard, is to get more print volume out of a comparable printer frame size, and we should start any moment. Now, timer is running. And we should probably check if we can get a little bit closer to the printer. Maybe like this, so we can see a little bit more. So I think this is good. Maybe you can set the focus to the benchy a little bit better. Can we? Not sure. Is it working? Yeah, it seems to be working. So I'm really curious. Oh my goodness. This is really quite scary, honestly. I hope nothing's going to go wrong with this printer during this test. And my phone is hopefully not falling from the table. Just need to be sure that we're not losing the timer. Oh my goodness. And it's pretty loud, so I have to admit that probably some of the plastic, I think it's probably the belt tensioners, which do make some noise. I didn't yet figure out what's making the most noise here, but I guess since I probably here's a moment I realized this was my first print. Some of the print layers, printer is slowing down a little bit, even though I probably did, at least I hope that I did set most of the settings correctly. But it seems that some of the settings in the slicer make it slow down. I don't know for what kind of type of layer or kind of section slows it down. But yeah, anyways, looks good. And it's, I think the most important thing is that the end result is going to be recognizable still as a benchy. So the infill is 10%. That's within the speed benchy rules. We could reduce it even more, right? So we could push it faster, but then it's outside of the rules, and we wouldn't be allowed to request a serial number with this. With 3 minutes into the print, pretty good. We're doing good. Oh my goodness. Yeah, bolting down the printer maybe. I think what would help, we can definitely get. I have one spare rubber pad, which I'm normally putting under my under any printer that I have. These are normally used for washing machines and tumblers to make them a little bit more silent and to prevent them from jumping through the room. And this is pretty effective, so it's something that I can definitely get from the other room, and we can put it on underneath the printer. Yeah, so far looking good. It's even making your bench shake. Yeah, it's surprisingly fast, I would say. And if you imagine, this is like the record for the sprinter is I think under 5 minutes. So I don't know what the fastest sprint yet was on the sprinter, but it's definitely something around 5 minutes for the benchy. However, I didn't see the pictures of those benchies, if they are still like, what kind of quality you get if you push it to 5 minutes. Because this is, honestly, this is the expensive hot end combination, which is really the expensive hot end with even a faster nozzle. And I imagine the only way to make it even faster and even pushing more filament through is replacing it with a direct drive. So this is actually, if you didn't know, this is a Bowden extruder, right? So it's not direct drive. But if you can imagine that if you would replace it with a direct drive, it would probably be able to push even harder. Yeah, 3 minutes. Okay, I didn't know that he already did a 3-minute benchy. I think we're pretty good in time. We're gonna make it. We're gonna definitely make it under 15 minutes. That's my prediction here. I think my serial numbers should be under 50. So there's still under 50 printers that have been made, or at least which people have sent for serial number request. I think last time I checked was 46 or something. How's the last serial number? Yeah, we should be right under 50 or something. I hope I can get a number under 50, which would be nice. It's still nice. It's probably, if you look at warrants, that's like, I don't know how many warrants have been built already, but it's only a couple of thousand. 52! Oh my goodness! Oh, it couldn't. Oh, too late! Oh my goodness! I was looking yesterday. Maybe a couple of people have finished their builds as well. A whale must have hit that benchy. Yeah, there's some artifact maybe. Most likely this is a cooling issue. If you look closer, it's the bow of the benchy, and these kind of issues are all cooling related. The topic here is, the problem is that I had to disable auto cooling for the print to become faster. Normally what the slicer software does, it slows down the print if it realizes that the print speed is too much for the filament to cool down. But I disabled that obviously because I wanted to maximum speed, and that is a huge difference in timing. Also disabled Z-hop, and yeah, I think that the cooling problems are mainly because the filament cannot cool down fast enough. And you would normally get better results if you had more time to print. We should maybe, we can try increasing the print temperature a little bit. Go to 230 instead of 220, maybe a little bit too low. The filament here, this Hyper PLA is quite sensitive to printing temperature, so it's surprising how much of a difference it was when I printed the extrusion limit test, going from 220 to 230. And it was surprisingly a lot faster. Also 10 degrees in filament temperature make a lot of that difference. Definitely worth trying out and pushing the filament temperature higher, especially if you want to really accelerate and push it to the limits. You definitely have to go over the official limits of the filament, so 230, 235. Okay, my phone wants to go to sleep. But we don't want. I think we're still doing well. Benchy's coming out actually not so bad. Yeah, 10 minutes. I think we could really be under 15. It should be absolutely doable. But it's going to be close. I think it's not too much under 15 actually. My fastest benchy is just under 10 minutes. Didn't record it, so no serial yet. Yeah, I mean, you should definitely record it and send it, send the forum. One thing I definitely have to do is cable management. Making a nice cable tree here behind the printer, putting everything together in a nice tube is definitely something I have to do still. Yeah, but it's a little bit of cosmetics to make it finally really looking good. The question that I have, of course, is what should we do with the printer next? And I definitely want to see what version 2.0 brings in terms of changes as soon as it's available. So also really I'm super curious to learn what can I reuse from this printer in terms of the hardware, what is going to be replaced. I hope that the new version will make it that we can reuse the expensive linear bearings, because I think that was honestly kind of quite a large investment compared to all of the rest of the parts. I think that bearings kit with the is around about 60 euros, and yeah, it would be actually quite a disappointment if we had to get everything new from scratch. So let's see. Well, getting there. "12 minutes 30 seconds. Let's see. So we're getting there, we're getting there. But it's gonna be close. We're still printing the roof of the benchy, but we're almost done. Yeah, I think we need to push the printer even a lot harder for the next benchy. But again, for the submission serial number request, I think it should be good. Okay, well, the roof is almost done. We're getting to the chimney in a second. Now we're like last stretch printing. Yeah, we're gonna make it. Definitely gonna make it. Plenty of time. Yeah, last couple of layers now. And we probably have 1 minute left. Okay. 14 minutes. 14 minutes, my friends. So, there we go. Let's take a little bit of a closer look. Definitely some cooling issues here, maybe also some little bit of under extrusion. I've cranked up the temperature a little bit in the upper layers, so I think I was a little too low. Initially printed at 220 and then went up to 230 with the ultra hyper PLA. But personally, I would say we can probably push it even more and get a better result by increasing print temperatures and tuning some of the settings. But that's my serial number request for the D100. Okay.